Welcome, my dear. What news do you bring from Steadfast Manor? Were you able to meet with Lord Baccaro, dear? What did he say when you told him about our victory? An excellent idea. Lord Baccaro knows it's vital to bring the delegates back to the table. After recent events, their faith in diplomacy might well be suspect. But a party, that's something they can all agree on. Can I impose on you again, dear? Tell the delegates Lord Baccaro dearly hopes they can attend a gathering at Gonfalon Palace. If anyone hesitates, use your charms to convince them to join us. Meanwhile, I'll throw something together. Meet me at Gonfalon Palace when you're done. Royals, no concern for their own safety. They each went off in search of a diversion. High King Emmerich to the temple, Queen Irene to stroll the harbor, and Prince Ernskar to the inn. I asked the Sisters' Guard to keep an eye on them, discreetly. Leave that to me, dear. I'll send Jakan to round up our 3 brave captains and put them to work. It'll be all hands on deck, as it were, but I think we can manage. You just make sure the Alliance leaders attend the party. These royals are a stubborn lot, or hadn't you noticed? I can never predict what they will do from one moment to the next. Remind them these peace talks are imperative. If that doesn't work, tell them the other 2 accepted your invitation. Sometimes a few untruths are required to grease the wheels of diplomacy. The royals will see right through the ruse, of course, but they'll play along. All they need is a reason to believe that this isn't a waste of their time.
Magus Slayer! To what do I owe this pleasure? Have I thanked you yet for all you've done? Not just for the alliances and Lady Arabelle, but for me personally. No? Well, thank you, my friend. I don't know many people who could have beaten the Ascendant Magus. But what brings you to the temple? Another royal function. I'm getting tired of those ghastly affairs in most cases. I was just considering heading home. Queen Maria must be missing me terribly. Unless... is the celebration in my honor? It's bad form to refuse such parties. Irene and Ernskar? Well, I can't allow them to attend and not show up myself. And I guess I do owe them something of a debt, too. They did help us on Amanos and at All Flags Castle. All right, I'll attend Lord Baccaro's celebration. It seems I'll need to pay more attention to the Sisters Archipelago in the future. My negligence allowed treason to fester and bloom unchecked. That changes now. But enough grim talk. We must celebrate. I will see you at Lord Baccaro's gathering. I will need to treat that situation delicately. Until I can prove one way or another that Duchess Elea was truly ignorant of her brother's plot, I can't in good conscience reprimand the entire house. Still, I don't take treason lightly. No, but we didn't exterminate all of those Order bastards, and their so-called Ascendant Lord is still loose. I have no doubt his rogue knights will rise against us again. I'll withhold judgment on the Duforts until my daggers investigate, though.
You talk to High King Emmerich so easily. Have you ever read some of his writing? He's actually a very talented author.
Hello, friend. Looking for me? I've always loved the sea. Comes from growing up on Somerset, I suppose. But what can I do for you, my friend? Don't tell me there are more rogue knights threatening High Isle. A party? Just another excuse to get me and Emmerich in the same room? Oh, very well. If we could face unprecedented danger together, we can probably survive sharing a few drinks and some food. And where will this gala event be held? That's probably for the best. It's close by. And All Flags Castle was quite a mess after the battle with the Ascendant Magus. It will take Lord Bacaro a considerable effort if he plans to make it ready for the conference again. Most of the belongings I brought along were lost when the Perfect Pounce sank into the sea. I wonder if I can find any suitable attire on this island. Breton tastes leave something to be desired. What am I thinking? This outfit is perfectly fine. We did not discuss peace, if that's what you're asking. We disagree on important issues, which is why diplomacy usually begins with social occasions. Banquets, balls, hunts, and the like. Rarely do they involve fighting for your life, though. We regaled each other with tales of how we survived the shipwrecks and our adventures on Amanos. I believed Emmerich was past his prime, no longer the great hero. And Ernskar struck me as young and brash. I now have a different perspective.
You know, Queen Irene seems like the kind of person I'd like to get an ale with.
Come on, just one more match. Give me a chance to win my gold back.
And what will you bet? That ridiculous nose ring? Find another racket, Bragas. Tribute ain't for you.
Well met, friend. Come have a drink with me. After the battles we endured, I was hoping to find a celebration. Unfortunately, this inn is as dead as the elk served at the Skull King's table. Have you come to drink with me, perhaps, my friend? Well, that's a welcome bit of news. Even a party full of royals and nobles has got to be better than this place. Wait, will Emmerich and Irene be in attendance? If they decline the invitation, then it seems I have no other choice. I will attend Lord Bacaro's celebration, and if the festivities evolve into more serious conversations, perhaps I will even listen. I'll see you then. Wait until the Skull King hears what he missed. Raging storms, a deadly jungle, a battle against near hopeless odds at an ancient castle. My father is going to kick himself. Well, maybe not about the storms. He gets sick at sea. Absolutely. He was an adventuring bard before he took the throne of Eastern Skyrim. He's not as ancient as Emmerich, and that old lion enjoyed himself. When we weren't almost dying, at least. I'll send a report to my father. Tell him all. As long as nothing else out of the ordinary happens, I'll stay. At least for a while. The weather here on High Isle is so much nicer than what we have in Windhelm. I can do without the cold and the snow for a little longer.
We set sail without knowing what's in store. So we say.
I can't believe it. An Ascendant Order sailed a fleet right into the lock. I heard there was a terrible battle at All Flags Islet.
And I heard that the important visitors were there, and they turned out to be the leaders of the three alliances. Good thing someone was there to defend them.
Hello. Would you happen to be looking for work? Jobs for adventurers!
Did you hear something?
Of all the places for my brooch to come loose, it had to fall in love.
Hey, good looking. Got a moment? Lord Bacaro may have proclaimed that this was a celebration for the Alliance leaders, but everyone came out to see the hero who saved All Flags Castle. I'm impressed how fast the word got around, even if I may have had something to do with that. Just wanted you to know, I worked it out with Lady Arabelle. She considers my debt to her paid in full. I think she may have confused me with you, but I'll take it any way I can get it. So go in and enjoy the party. I'm sure I'll see you around. I put on a few disguises, sure, and I'm glad everyone's safe, but all this hero stuff gives me a rash. I'm not supposed to attract so much attention. Anyway, Lady Arabelle wants a word with you before she starts the main event. She's waiting inside.
Not my finest work, but I think this venue will do. I see you convinced our royal guests to come to our little gathering. Well done, dear. Now for the tricky part. Persuading them to stay for Lord Bacaro's talks. After so many perils, I suppose I couldn't blame them if they decided to leave. Excellent, dear. You saved Emmerich and the others from the Ascendant Order and ended the threat of the Magus. Plus, you salvaged the talks and restored the hope for peace. Take this. This is your day as much as anyone's. I have to address the crowd.
You're always striving to learn something new.
We're here
One of my
to celebrate the
favorite things
coming
about
together
writing.
of 3 great leaders. And to show our appreciation for a hero who saved the delegates and kept our hopes for peace alive. On behalf of Lord Bacaro and the Society of the Steadfast, I ask our honored guests to enjoy the celebration.
The Aldmeri Dominion thanks our hero and promises to participate when the talks resume.
The Ebonheart Pact wholeheartedly agrees.
As does the Daggerfall Covenant. 3 cheers for our hero and for Lord Bacaro!
Well said, High King, and well said, Queen and Prince. Let the celebration begin.
Fighting alongside each other, all well and good. Attending a party together, sure, with civilized people. But these peace talks? If Lord Bacaro is committed to continuing down this path, I'll follow. I don't hold out much hope, though. What do I look like, a soothsayer? All I know is that peace has powerful enemies. Every day, people tell me that if we press harder, we can make good on the blood and treasure we've spent. Dictate terms from a position of strength. It distresses me. I'm afraid I do. If I decide to ignore them and hold my ground, there's no promise Irene and Yoren can do the same. Peace is only possible when everyone sees there's no more to be gained from war. Still, if others are willing to try, so am I.
We won the day, my friend, and I learned a valuable lesson. Sometimes the enemy of my enemy is my friend, or at least a helpful acquaintance. And if the peace talks do go on, I will do my best to negotiate in good faith. Who knows? Will ice melt in the cookpot? That's a certainty. But the thoughts that run through the minds of the rulers of Tamriel, those cannot be fathomed by even the most brilliant sage. But I will send word to my father, ask for his advice. Mostly. But he wasn't with us on Amanos or at All Flags Castle. He didn't fight side by side with the lion and the eagle. My father doesn't expect much from these talks. I'm not so sure. If the talks do take place, I'd love to surprise him.
I think I can bear this Breton paradise a little longer. Consider it my way of acknowledging everything you did for us. For me. If you could go out of your way to save 3 foolish royals, then I can try to find common ground with my enemies. There's always a chance. As long as Lord Bacaro can finalize the necessary arrangements, we have an opportunity to put an end to terrible suffering. What sort of queen would I be if I did not do everything in my power to see this through? I must assume so. Why else would they be here? They are honorable leaders despite our differences and the terrible war we're engaged in. I believe they want what is best for their realms as well as mine. Beyond that, we shall have to wait and see.
Bestest friend, I had no idea you were a large diplomat too. Prince Ernskar says you saved the peace talks by saving his life. Twice! That is very strong diplomacy. I wish I had thought of that. Oh, very good. Tanilan and Ulganash said my diplomacy was so strong, they didn't need to be diplomatized anymore. They told me I could go commit diplomacy on new people and make more friends. Everybody in town, sailors, merchants, fishmongers, dock workers, beggars, anyone I could catch. People like you when you buy them drinks. Although, I'm not really sure how that helps Ebonheart.
I don't want to help people just to make them grateful to me, but if these are the sort of parties adventurers get to attend, I definitely won't complain. Where better to find a ship than in Gonfalon Bay? I'll get passage on one of them. Until then, I'm helping people. Yes, I started by singing rats off a galley. It's a small start, but now folks are coming to me with their problems. I'm making a name for myself. It may not be much, yet, but I crafted it myself. And it's my name, not my father's. Me? I'm going to enjoy myself. Maybe try some new foods. It's nice being at a party and not having to worry about being called on to perform.
As much as I enjoy a party, I still have work to do back on All Flags. And poor Stibbins isn't a spring rooster. All this excitement does terrible things to his already fragile constitution. If we disappear, do give our regards to Lady Arabelle. Oh, if you don't mind, I'd rather not recall that dreadful experience. You have no idea what it's like to have a foul-mouthed, libidinous sea captain inside your head. Although, I must say the feelings he left me with were rather enticing. I still have a few last things to take care of on All Flags Islet before the peace talks can proceed. After that, who can say? I go where I'm needed, and Stibbins follows faithfully in my wake. Someone must carry my personals, after all. Oh, that goes without saying. I am Tamriel's most celebrated treasure hunter and author, after all. I may stick around for the peace talks. Or I heard about some strange happenings in the Telvanni Peninsula. Or Hammerfell. I haven't been there in ages.
Well, that was quite something to see. I envy your life of adventure and daring do, my friend. Sometimes I imagine striking out with nothing but a sword and a good pair of boots. But what would become of Lady Laurent? She'd be lost without me. What? Well, yes, everyone does. She's a fine and noble woman. Quite personable. When she isn't calling for tea or ordering me to do some fool thing or other. But I do not appreciate what you are implying, my friend. After the... You saw? Well, nothing happened. Not really. Nothing I want to discuss, anyway. Lady Laurent wasn't herself. She was still caught up on the stifled emotions of a sea captain who'd been alone for... Oh, must we talk about this? Nothing too exciting. I have lists to make, crates to pack, and Lady Laurent's collection of combs, brushes, and reach fetishes won't sort themselves. I'm sure we'll see you again. Milady appreciates your help, even if she doesn't say so.
I might slip out the back now that the talking is done. Even as a squire, I wasn't much for glad-handing. I did. The Order of the Albatross welcomed her home. She's been interred in a crypt reserved for knights that died on errantry. I've visited her a few times. She has a nice spot. I am. Sir LaFleury was very impressed with my tale. As he put it, who am I to stand in the way of the unstoppable Dame Maddock? I'm still not used to the title, but I'll get there. I think I'll spend some time working with the knights at Castle Navir. Get my sea legs under me, so to speak. The Knight Commander is already muttering about having me take on a squire. So I expect it'll be back into the breach soon enough.
I've been told that my brother met his end at your hands during his reckless attack on All Flags Castle. If only I had seen through his scheme sooner, perhaps he might have been saved. But I suspect he gave you no choice. That was so his way. When my brother fixed his mind on a goal, he did not allow anything or anyone to get in his way. We were never close, but our relationship only worsened after I accepted our father's title. And now he's left our house on the brink of ruin. The High King says he does not hold me responsible for Demard's misdeeds. But the ships that attacked All Flags Castle were built into fort yards, and many of our knights fought under ascended helms. Our honor is irreparably stained.
After a shipwreck, imprisonment, and dangerous battles, Zaji has earned a little time to relax. And perhaps some recognition for his bravery and skill, yes? Zaji is the hero of the day. After you, of course. A drink! Long sunny days and tender nights, filled with song, drink, and love. Or so Zaji hopes. Since Queen Irene has no one else to look after her in these islands, Zaji hereby appoints himself the task of catering to her every need. That is a task better left in Cascar's claws. Who will look after Queen Irene if not Zaji? And Lady Arabelle insisted we help guard the delegate anyway, so what is this one to do? Zaji can only hope his devotion is rewarded.
Good thing I didn't eat you on that Amenos beach, Walker. This all would have been a lot harder without you. And no, I don't really eat people. That's just Senshrat humor. As far as you, that depends on Queen Irene. We're staying in Gonfalon Bay as long as she is, but that suits me fine. We've got a new ship and a new crew to break in, and I'll be keeping an eye on Zaji, as always.
Nothing can replace the spearhead or the crewmates I lost when she went down. But seeing the High King and all these other people alive and well goes a long way toward making things right. Well, that and Nereiid's song, I suppose.
I'm not going anywhere until High King Emmerich finishes up what he came here to do. That's fine with me, though. It'll give me time to sign on a crew and put Nereid's song in proper shape. Lady Arabelle insisted, and the Duchess doesn't seem opposed. Still haven't decided whether to rename her. There's a lot of luck tied up in a ship's name. Oh, and while I'm here, I agreed to protect the delegates. I could use the extra gold.
Well done, my friend. What you accomplished here, what you prevented. We all owe you so much more than our thanks and well wishes. If there's anything you ever need from the Stone Lore Circle, you only need to ask. More or less. Nature has a way of doing the unexpected, but that's part of its grandeur. The spirit of the Grove has become more of a partner than a tool, and I am glad of that. You helped make that possible. The Circle will never forget that. No, not yet. It's like the very rock refuses to talk to us, and we're the Stone Lore druids. I've been busy getting the Grove settled, but I think I'll offer to help with the investigation into the lava vents and the volcano. It's the least I can do.
Quite an honor you've received from these esteemed figures. I feel confident they only know a small portion of your heroics. If these discussions succeed, we could soon see this war end. No more lives thrown away in the pursuit of power. Returning to normal thanks to you. The symptoms of Viralane's experiments have faded from our patients. Now they can focus on the conditions that originally brought them to me. That will be its own struggle, but one we're trained for. Oh, of course. As long as this horrible war rages, I will help heal the injured. And I believe in Lord Bacaro's dream. Learning about the lives of our enemies offers the best path to peace.
What a party! Lots of fancy people here. I've got to be on my best behavior. I promise not to pick anyone's pocket or anything. This is your big day. I'm not going to get in the way of that. Unless you want to see what's in Emmerich's pockets. Of course, some people seem skeptical that the same person who rescued the Alliance leaders and killed the Ascendant Magus also chased down sheep magic to look like people. But that's part of the fun. Now go celebrate. You've earned it.
So, when not busy fighting pirates, I guess you're off saving royalty. Perhaps you just travel where the winds blow. Everyone here owes you a great debt, especially myself. The Prowler remains safe and ready to serve the Dominion. Wherever I please. That's the joy of the sailing life. We have a few jobs lined up. Sailors must eat after all. But I think we can afford some shore leave. And Queen Irene asked to talk later. I sense more dangerous cargo in the near future. Ugh, I asked that sour cat to come and thank you. But he turned me down. Something about needing to count the crates another time. He never stops working, that one. But I know for a certainty that he's grateful for everything you've done.
Quite an impression, my friend. Too bad for you. Now all the important people know who to call when they need something done. You'll never have a moment's rest, you poor bastard. I really am. But you know me. I lay low and some sort of trouble still finds me. I'm like one of those lodestones, I guess. Don't get me wrong. Lady A is great, and she pays well. But I need to draw the line at acting respectable. Of being all heroic. I'm a thief. I've got an image to think of. But I'll never say never. Do that, and fate intervenes.
We have taken the first step on a long journey. Still, no one ever reaches their destination without taking that step. I owe you a debt, friend. Because of you, there's still a chance for peace. I promise to take full advantage of this opportunity. That depends on how fast I can get workers out to rebuild All Flags Castle and restore Memorial Hall. And I need to send word to the Mages Guild. Valencia alone can't replace the wards. There's also a new Fighters Guild delegate to consider. I'm certainly going to try. We've all accomplished too much to let the talks just fade away like a mist in the morning sun. You showed them they can work together. We can build upon that, provided I can get them to stay until we're ready to begin.
I knew at the moment I saw you, dear. This one has spirit. This one has the heart of a hero. Not too unlike what Emmerich saw when he first looked at me. You know I appreciate all you've done, my friend. You can call on me for help whenever you need. No rest for the weary, dear. I need to help Lord Bacaro restore All Flags Castle for the peace talks, improve security, figure out what other traitors beside Count Damard are lurking about, and of course, I need to keep the delegates safe. Not right now. The captains and Koska have agreed to help guard the delegates, but the rest is all paperwork and supervision. When the peace talks get underway, I'll send for you, if you're still interested in helping, of course. No pressure, dear. An excellent answer. I must write that down. I expect that my notes will make an excellent basis for the next Investigator Vale novel. I must send them off to the author at once. Let's just say the author is a very dear friend of mine. Why, I would even go so far as to admit I know her as well as I know myself. And that is quite positively all I intend to share on this topic. Now go mingle and accept the adoration of the crowd.
I'm going to stick right here by the Knight Commander. At least if I stand here and keep my mouth shut, I can't embarrass myself any further. What? No. Nope. I'm good here. I tried to introduce myself to High King Emmerich when the commander spoke to him, and I kind of forgot my own name. So, if I try that again, I think I'll die of shame. Other than putting my boot squarely in my mouth, you mean? Yes, I'm having a lovely time. Have you had any of those little finger sandwiches? And Jakarn has tried to hit on me no less than 3 times. I don't have the heart to tell him.
So, when not busy fighting pirates, I guess you're off saving royalty. Perhaps